Hey, here at Jackson Island Lake with Steve Brown, and what a fine professional crappie fisherman he is, one of the BMM pro staffs. But today we want to talk about, we are in a bunch of fairly shallow water here that's very calm. Steve, how do you fish this and not spook the fish and catch them?
Okay, Ron, what I prefer to do, everybody's seen it, like you've got a structure here. I like to take 6-foot B&M sharpshooter and cast to the structure. I stay off that structure, because we've all seen it. A lot of times when you get your boat real close to that structure, you can just watch the fish go down in the pile, or a lot of times they'll just swim off because you spook them. But by casting to them first, I'm staying off of them, and a lot of times you can pick up a couple of fish like that because you haven't spooked them. They don't know you're there, okay? And then I like to follow it up with the 14-foot B&M Diamond Series rod. I go ahead and get closer to that structure and go ahead and put, whether you want to put a jig in it or hook in the minnow, it doesn't matter. But pick those fish off that don't have any idea that you're even in the area, and then go ahead and ease on up to the brush pile or the stump and put a jig or a minnow on.
What about boat control? You see people run up to something and they go too fast, or the trolling motor's on too hard. Talk just a little bit about boat control to not spook the fish.
Boat control in crappie fishing is the key to success. You have to, you got to take it easy going up to that brush pile. If you run in there hot, you're going to spook the fish. Beating and banging on the boat is bad. Turning the trolling motor around backwards where you're prop washing the brush pile or the stump that you're fishing will spook those fish or run them off the pile. So boat control is very important. It's best just to ease into the situation. Like say, what I like to do is stay off of it, cast a weedless jig into it. You can even cast a regular jig into it. With some of the new technology we have, you can pull that jig right across the top of that brush pile without getting hung up. And after you do that, you can ease on in there and put a jig or a minnow on down in that brush pile and see if you can't catch a couple more fish off of it.
A little bit about the lures you might use. You use a little bit lighter jig, maybe like 1/16 or 1/32.
When I'm casting the jig, I prefer to use a 1/16 ounce jig. And what we found over the years, crappie, elephants eat peanuts. So we've all learned to downsize to like a 32nd ounce jig if you're using a jig. And the other thing we can do is put a weight up above it, kind of like I have right here, Ron. I've got some additional weight right here so that I can get that 32nd ounce jig down there faster into the brush pile or on the stump. And just seem to be able to catch a lot more fish using a smaller profile bait.
Steve, some great tips for people fishing to where they don't spook the fish in real calm water like we have this morning. And I got to tell you, should be able to catch more crappie. Let's go catch one.
Let's do it, buddy. Let's go catch one.